Are we live? Welcome to the God Awful News. I'm Craig Hamilton Bradley, and welcome to my channel, All Good Things in All Good Time, where it's always a good day to be alive. And the news, I'm sorry, the news isn't really very good, which is why I have to call this news show what it is until we have people in politics who want to bring us better news, and a majority of them, I think we're going to be stuck getting some bad news from some terrible people who make bad news by doing bad things that are unnecessary. It's kind of like, you ever been in a relationship with somebody who just, it's a perfect day. There is nothing that could possibly be wrong, and then they find a way to just ruin everything. Sweet, hey John, I was just trying to find you. I got this list of I just have been enabled to see the people who subscribe, Aloha Tam, and I was going through my subscribers, and it can rank them with the amount of subscribers they have, and I couldn't find you in there, and I was like, that's weird. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, y'all. Totally love you guys. The news. There's a little bit of good news. Let's start with sort of the good news. Although we don't know if there's going to be any sort of accountability still. Judges court cases are happening, right? Every time Trump does something, it's illegal. And then it takes a little while. He has to be sued. It's got to go to court. And now we're starting to get all these judgments against Trump, of course, in addition to the ones we already know about. Like, there's just a flood of them on every subject, every level, every state, universities, the law detaining people. But still, these boot thugs are going around and detaining people. It's just frightening as all hell. They're detaining citizens, deported a citizen. They've detained citizens, and that's all in the news. I'm starting to pour a beer because I've given in to the the desire to give in. Okay, so let's see here. Drinking my coffee black. Cheers to you. Love you, girl. Oh man, I'm so thankful to have you devote. Well, I have a couple funny things maybe to say today. I have some funny stuff coming. I've got some new funny thoughts, and I can't wait to share them with you. Because they're just like true also. Which makes them so much more fun. And like I said before, like Elon, he's gonna go away, and he already has, right? And Trump, he's gonna die. But we need to remember, it's these shitty Republicans that we need to hold accountable. In addition to everybody, one of the best stories someone did this week was Kyle Kulinski, when he said some strong words that kind of need to be said more, which is that all these people participating in all of this stuff should be subject to the legal process. They're breaking the law. They're breaking all kinds of laws. These are the Nazi soldiers and generals that need to be held accountable for kidnapping, detaining, sending people off to death camps. It's right. So it was so nice to hear somebody with a big audience. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to see him say that, and it's nice to see that kind of level of rhetoric, because it is the absolute truth. The scary shit these people are doing is just wrong. And how could you take an oath to the Constitution and then go sweep people up? This guy was just kidnapped in Charlottesville in the courthouse by guys with no ID, with freaking hooded masks. Just it's scariest shit ever. And here's the thing, if you haven't thought of this terrible, not just possibility, but it's gotta be probably happening already. Because listen, if you're some psycho white supremacist militia person, right, which we have a few of those, Klansman, Nazi, what's to stop you and some of your friends from putting on some military shit and fake badges and whatever, and then just going and rounding people up off the streets because you want to? And now that there's this climate where that's sort of something people think is almost normal or an expected thing to possibly see, they'll just think, oh, that's just another one of those evil, you know, things happening, but it could be like, you know, not someone from law enforcement. Um, I just realized that, like, that's so scary. In addition to the fact that who are these FBI, ATF agents? All these guys, and a really good point from an FBI agent who just recently quit was, you know, with all these FBI agents, which is already a smaller staff now, reputable people have been fired, quit, accountability's gone. There's less people protecting us from terrorism, real terrorism, right? We're locking up dishwashers and detaining, and breaking the windows out of field workers and dairy workers to treat them in cruel and unusually punishing ways instead of stopping terrorism. Domestic and foreign, we got plenty white supremacists. Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, so, and then Gaza is just brutal. They just keep, there's nothing left in Gaza. Now all they have left, all their bombing is anywhere people exist, right? Like they're just looking for concentrations of people at night with infrared, and that's where they're bombing. And they're hitting food depots, hospitals, frickin' journalists, and schools. It's brutal. And I just gotta believe, at this point, it's just untenable. And no one will ever look at Israel the same ever again. The thought that it's anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish, against the religion of Judaism, to call that genocide is just absurd, and everyone knows it. It's obvious, and it's inexcusable. And still, we have people trying to excuse it, and it is brutal what it is and has been done. Every day they get, but yesterday, this week it was a journalist's school, a hospital, and a food distribution center. In addition to infrastructure for water and electricity. I mean, it is just true evil. It's as bad as anything that was done by Hitler, is what Netanyahu, and then these guys and then all the other atrocities that are being reported, the children being outright murdered purposely, seemingly by both drones and people, the beheadings, the sniper shots to the head of 10-year-olds, which is another way to make sure, you're wiping a population out, is when you wipe the children out. That's probably what AI has determined is a smart way to do that. It's like, okay, AI, how do we do this? And then they say, oh, well, AI is making all the decisions. The Palantir AI, which is so scary. Oh, my God, anyway. And how long is it before we have thought crimes, right? Kyle mentioned that, which is from 1984, the movie. People being arrested for thoughts they might have, or thoughts that they are told they have that they haven't really have, and they're like, oh, thank God you saved me from my own thoughts, because it's such a messed up society. They rewrite history, constantly rewrite the news, and that the three famous lines from 1984 are: ignorance is strength, right? Freedom is slavery, and war is peace. And they're trying to do all that shit. But yeah, so Elon's out of the picture, although he's now seized all the data, figured out how to siphon money out of the treasury, and now he's like, okay, see you guys. Now that I got everyone's information, all their everything, I can hack into everybody's everything and ruin anyone's life I want. And I've tapped in, and now I'm just getting some money that no one knows about because of one line of code that I rewrote. I mean, yeah, that's god awful. I do believe I have the name of a news program that now everyone wishes their news program was named, because everyone named their program before it became god awful news every day. Every day news worse than the day before because we have a sociopath, narcissistic, pathologically lying traitor in the White House, Confederate, evil bastard, bringing us the bad news. But I got some funny thoughts for you. I guess hang tight. I love how Dave Packman and Sam Cedar have gone and done interviews with these dipshit Republicans. And it just puts their ignorance. Good afternoon. Aloha. Much love. Cheers to you. It's my first sip of my one beer. I'm going to drink this one beer because this is plenty beer. Like, look at it. 19 ounces of 9%. Go Sierra Nevada. Go Sierra Nevada. So sexy, that beer. But seriously, like, after that, I don't think I'm safe to drive. I can still exercise a little. But it's not long before I'm going to be taking a nap, for sure. I can't imagine. If I drank 2 of those, man, I'd be pretty buzzed. Anyway, that's how you drink safely. Not much. You don't drink much when you drink. That's how you drink safe. And, oh man, I just saw this new ad for some drug for livers, for your liver, fatty liver. And they got this new term called MASH or NASH. Did you have MASH or NASH? Is your liver got MASH? It's like, whatever. But yeah, fatty liver is a thing, and that's something everyone should know about. And look at those videos about how to promote better health for your liver. It'll be a lot of the same stuff you've heard from me telling you how to eat. You know, cruciferous vegetables usually in there, and not too much sugar, not too much booze. You know, not too much. But I think it's a simple ultrasound. I got to get one, you know, like they do for babies. And oh my God. Oh my God. Stop by freaking cops checking your ID. That's why I'm afraid to leave my house. Not entirely. But I could see people getting agoraphobia from this all over the fucking place and wanted to help each other. I literally ordered Faraday bags for all my phones so I can go off grid by putting them in something. I know, a good IPA. It's funny how I used to drink. We grew up on shitty beer. Henry Weinhardt's, Olympia, those artesians. God, the beer we thought was good when we were young, and then turned out, oh yeah, and then thank God in like 1981, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale came out. Although Anchor Steam was around before that, and that was like the first good beer, oldest good beer, I think. I mean, and Guinness, of course. I mean, duh. But yeah, I think the original Black and Tans were like a Anchor Steam and I don't think Anchor Steam's around anymore, which is such a crime because it was a steadfast good beer for the ages. Anyway, all right, let's get back to this. Okay, so I got some funny. This is so true, and so funny, and so great. In fact, I might have to. Oh man, I might put on some eyeliner. I know. That's what we drank in the 80s. Okay, so, and then in the 90s, when I went to Santa Rosa Junior College, it was Natty Light. It was $3.99 a 12-pack. That was pretty good. I just looked at Natty Light, and it's Natty Light Ice, you know, because it's got to have more alcohol or whatever, and it's like, what was it? Like $17 for a 12-pack now. All right. So if they were in the news, Pete Buttigieg went on flagrant. This Schultz guy, Andrew Schultz, who's not funny at all, not funny ever, especially now that he's a Republican. Nice. Cheers. I can picture you in your beautiful kitchen or living room. So Pete Buttigieg, right? First of all, he just schools these guys and just puts on display how stupid they are. And of course, it's like 3 hours long, and you can watch it. And like those guys are never funny the whole time. The only person who's funny at all is Pete, right? And oh sweet, and all right. So, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Oh my God. So, well, okay. Let's go aside from that first. This guy from Fox, and this made the news. This guy who looks like an overweight Pee Wee Herman, extra feminine with makeup, you know, eyeliner and mascara and a foundation. This guy who is anything but someone who comes across with a fair amount of masculinity. Not that there's anything wrong with not coming across with that. But then this person on Fox says something about, you know, tries to put down Pete Buttigieg as if him being there is some sort of act of allowing someone feminine on their show. He makes a reference to Dylan Mulvaney, a trans person, and as if to, you know, disparage both gay and trans communities and associate the two together in one big insult where he claims to know what it is to be masculine, basically, in the whole little context of what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, you know, we know what masculinity is, you don't, and that's not masculine. And in other words, right? So, and he's just he's the silliest looking man I ever did see. Does he even have an Adam's apple? Anyway, all right, so that's that. It's just funny as hell because it's like Pee Wee Herman's fat twin brother who's still alive with a whole bunch of makeup, calling Pete Buttigieg a fucking war hero, badass, something less than masculine. Now, which brings up the point. The most masculine guy on that show with these four dipshit Republicans, one guy from looks like he has Indian blood, one black guy, another white guy, and Andrew Schultz, and Pete Buttigieg. So 5 guys. Dude, the most masculine guy in that group was by far Pete Buttigieg, the one guy who happens to be gay or is out of the closet. Who knows, you know, with the other guys. But how's that? And the one guy I would much rather have backing me up in a fight will be Pete Buttigieg than any of those Republican guys on Flagrant. I can't even believe these dipshits, all these comedians even, because there's no such thing as funny conservative comedy. They all decided to become Republicans like fucking morons. It's unbelievable. it's hysterical in its own right. But they're all rich somehow. Man. Yeah, Pete's intelligent, but he's also a badass, man. I mean, he knows, with all the training he's got in the military, guaranteed he could protect you in a fight better than any of those less than masculine, you know, and all those guys probably have makeup on, and he's just right there in the middle of them. And wouldn't it be great? Because in his own way, like, I could see women seeing him as being, you know, one of America's sexiest men, even though he happens to be gay. He's still like a real man, far more than those other guys, right? His sexuality has nothing to do with his masculinity, and that's what you see, because he's the toughest guy in the room, almost always. And he's often in the room, like when he goes to Fox, he's talking to any of those dweebs. I mean, he's by far the most masculine guy anywhere in the Fox building. I love it. Anyway, who knew the most one of the most masculine men in our country might just happen to be gay, and Pete is putting it on display, and it's pretty cool. You know, gotta love that guy. All right, but he's got the intellect and the all of it, freaking combat experience, freaking intelligence. He's a brainiac. Anyway, cheers, everybody. I just love that irony there. Anyway, so yeah, Kyle Kalinske was bold enough to say these people need to be locked up. Trump, Pam Bondi, Tom Homan, the boot thugs who are killing people's constitutional rights, kidnapping people, no due process, putting them, judge, jury, executioners out on the streets, rounding people up. It's not cool. Pissing people off too. I mean, America is getting riled up. I'm sure you've seen it, but there are rallies everywhere around the country, including here. I wonder if they've been every other week. There was one last week here, so maybe there isn't one this week because it's just too hard for us on Maui to organize that much. But maybe there is one today. I might drive around, see what I can find. I'll set this up to see the ocean all day. I need to get back into doing that. I've been a little busy the last few days. Anyway, all right, more news. Let's get through all the news. There's so much news, and it's almost all bad, as you would expect. The economy is teetering, right? So the economy, or the stock market, let's say, is sort of finding its new trading range, right? It's somewhere 39, 40,000 is going to be its little point right now. But I think it's got another leg to drop. We'll probably see that. More companies this week than normal are reporting their earnings or lack thereof, and profits, and their forecasts, and their guidance. And I suspect it's going to be a lot of negative news, right? To go with, negative news, negative numbers now to go with the news, right? People are afraid to be kidnapped, and oh God, the numbers are going to come in. They're going to be bad. But the part where people are afraid to be kidnapped is so disheartening and worrisome and frightening and worrying. And how long before they come to my door, right? I wonder if I'll have any warning. I guess I'll hear about other people journalists being swept up. But the judge, so of course you've heard the news probably about the judge, Dugan, being arrested because she helped someone leave a building without being kidnapped. They then tracked him down, tackled him, probably treated him brutally, and then swept him off to some place in Louisiana or Texas where people are being treated horribly. God, there was a MMA instructor, fighter guy from Australia that came to do a seminar here, and he was detained, locked up, and his accounts are so harrowing. The things going on in these detention centers, it's unruly. People are fighting. There's no control over the population. They're just throwing people in there. It is the scariest thing I think America's ever confronted or ever seen. These are the scariest times. And by all intents and purposes, they're only going to continue and get worse unless Republican Supreme Court justices, Republican elected officials start standing up with a backbone to stop this fascist dictator, our new Adolf Hitler of America. It is brutal. And then the militaries, David Peckman talked about the military being tested, right? We've already now shown that the ATF and the FBI, the Homeland Security, they'll capitulate, they'll do illegal shit on behalf of the federal government. And now that we have Pete Hegseth, a white supremacist in there, it's won't be long before they're doing illegal shit against Americans, which is illegal. The military is not supposed to ever be on the streets. They aren't supposed to be on the border. They've been put there because it's a national emergency. People want to come in here and pick your strawberries, and you're all worried about that. Or some dipshits are. My God. And the ripple effects of these people not going to work. And no one's going to go in. Now that people are being duped and kidnapped at courthouses and at immigration centers, obviously they're not going to go anymore. No one's going to trust any government agency to be safe. Schools are being attacked. They're trying to sweep up children in schools. It is god awful. Thank God we have each other. My goodness, you and I, we have each other. We're working our way through this. Hopefully it's not leading to End of the world. Oh my God. So yeah, the disconnect, between Wall Street just doesn't see it, and Wall Street has yet to even mention that, there's a list that is circulating of the companies that support Trump and that support Project 2025, the Nazification of our country. All these companies are being punished economically by people who won't spend money with them anymore. And no one on Wall Street has even talked about that or mentioned it or brought it up, right? Um, you know, which is so suspicious to me. They're so stupid. Like, how's that not on their radar? It's something they're talking about. Maybe they don't want to admit it. Maybe they all want to pretend that, like with Tesla, that this is going to blow over. People are going to forget that he's a Nazi, and someday want to drive Teslas or not see them as an offensive. They're done in Europe. They're done in Canada. And 70% of this country will never buy a Tesla. There are alternatives. And now that it's the most uncool car to buy, like, who would want to be that uncool? I mean, not me, of course, because that's not how I identify. But anyway, yeah, I trip out on the disconnect, right? There's this whole war being waged economically by everyone that is interested and willing, who cares for democracy, who realizes how important their dollars are in voting for right versus wrong. And that movement's only growing. That Project 2025 donors video that I talked about, when it had like a 20,000 views, it's now had nearly 2 million views, and it's not stopping, right? It's such a great video. And it also offers the whole list so you can print it out. That's what I've read from. All right. And then, of course, red states, who often bear a bigger brunt. My favorite thing is these dipshit Republicans who say, "Oh, it's all the weather's being controlled by some Jews." It's being targeted at us. No, it's the denial of climate change now for 50 years. Dipshit Republicans, ever since Nixon was taken out, every Republican since has just wanted to destroy the earth. And they're in many ways succeeding. And many of those effects affect red states more, which is why it's perplexing why you would vote against the environment when you get your ass kicked by it all the time. But that's what red states do. And now, because we have someone that doesn't want to govern, he wants to figure out a way to steal all the money for himself, not pay to do anything, not have to actually manage or do anything, right? The whole process of governing and administering efforts to do things isn't what Trump wants to do. He wants to defer everything to the states. Collect all your taxes and then do nothing for us. Put it all into the military while we're not at war. But now that we are, he's going to declare all these wars, We're going to have to spend $1 trillion on the military when we're not at war, which is like, 5 times more than the next closest country, right? Like China might spend 200 million, 300 million. Oh my goodness. Whoo-wee. I tell you what, yeah, I love a good bitter IPA. And of course, it's got some health benefits. I definitely believe climate change is real, but it also makes a very good excuse for unnatural things to happen. But how do we know they're unnatural? Nature's kicking our ass. The ocean is rising, okay? There used to be a beach out here. If you've ever watched this, there's no beach. The beach is underwater by that much, all right? There used to be a big beach here. It's been going on for a while. We've known about it, right? I mean, Al Gore, 25 years ago, made it very clear. Ice caps are melting. We could slow this down, stop it. The carbon cycle is a known science. There's been a normal carbon cycle. We sped it up by 1,000 years. We need to pull it back. we have enough more energy from the sun that we could ever need if we just covered every rooftop of every building, which would be my dream if I was president. Cover every rooftop of every building with solar panels, unless there's a garden on it, or something like that. But there's all this space at the top of every building, house, and structure everywhere that could have solar, right? And yeah, yeah. Anyway, so all we got to do is just give people the money to do it, and then lump it. Give them a 3-year deferment on the payment of it, and then put it into their mortgage after they've already had free energy for 3 years and saved presumably tens of thousands maybe dollars in energy costs before they even have to start paying for it, right? And then of course the value of your home will go up the same, at least the amount of the cost of. So you put the solar panels on, the value of your house goes up $50,000. It costs you $50,000, but you don't have to start paying it for 3 years, and so you make $30,000 in free energy between now and then yeah, it pays for itself by the equity of your house, and then we just figure out that everyone now has solar, and then we make it so you can have an independent system. And then if you have a car, an electric car someday, and you plug it into your house supports your car, and we need a lot fewer combustion. We're gonna always want combustion motors. There's nothing wrong with some, but I mean, we could, for any short-term driving, and BYD's coming out with a 5-minute charge. How's that? That's revolutionary. That's big in the news. And then the suggestion they're going to take over. They're not going to take over the world, but their diplomacy. China is being diplomatic right now while we're being Scrooges, and that is not good for any of our business interests. Very good for theirs. And BYD is a Chinese company, right? So I got to stop doing that. Touching my nose while I'm doing this. I watch myself do that. I'm like, got to stop that. It gets itchy, though. It gets itchy. All this hair. And I can't stop touching my beard, too. I got to stop doing that. Yeah. Okay. So Florida is working to weaken the child labor laws to help create more labor because they're locking up labor and treating them like criminals, deporting them, locking them up. I mean, it is just ignorance. It is as ignorance does. Oh, and of course, Ron DeSantis, that's big in the news. He and his wife are, of course, corrupt, and it's being revealed, and they were doing a $10 million scam, and maybe they'll be held accountable. Maybe. We'll see. Florida politics might be the kind where they hold them accountable. We'll see. That's another one. It's like, man, if he can go through an Ivy League school and come out that shitty, like, anyone should be able to get through Ivy League school. They can't be that hard. There you go. Yeah, can you believe that shit? Aloha from Seattle awakes. Yeah, how's that? Wanting to reduce child labor laws. And they all want to reduce, the age of consent. Right? While they accuse everyone else of being pedophiles. And whatever. Against having no family values. Jesus. Well, there's some good values. Are there any values? It is just, it's like a demonic death cult. All right. What else is going on in the world? Let's see. We got a lot of, relatively bad news. Oh, God. So yeah, red states aren't getting the help they need for all the tragedy that they're experiencing, and there's more of it, right? Arkansas, that Muppet face gal who runs Arkansas, Huckabee's daughter, she had a lot of plastic surgery. It's kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, so she's upset because she's not, North Carolina's not getting help, and Kentucky's not getting help, and Tennessee and Georgia, they're all getting screwed by themselves, by their own votes. Hopefully, they'll do better next time. They'll vote for help, for the environment, and not against it. It's amazing how Republicans think it's like good news to us. When they say deregulation, we hear polluted air, water, soil. That's not what they think. They think it makes them sound smart. We're gonna say deregulation. And that's gonna be good for business. And that's gonna make America great. No, it's gonna kill us, and we don't want that. We want some regulation. It leads to all the big problems, all the banking catastrophes, deregulation. Environmental catastrophes, deregulation. Now, one thing I'm curious about, we haven't heard about, I think it's gonna be future news, and it could come from, it's interesting because it should come from somewhere else, but it might come from RFK Jr. The one good thing he might do, and arguably maybe getting rid of food dyes isn't a bad thing, but very obstructionist, and in a time when our supply chains are getting disrupted, tariffs, all sorts of problems in markets, labor being messed with. This new requirement is going to be interesting because it's going to cause some effort and a cut into the profits and whatever. Anyway, so, but what if RFK goes after PFAS chemicals? That would be one very cool thing. And BHP, bisphenol A. If he goes after either one of those two things, it'll be the one and two good things he could possibly do. The rest of what he's doing is just wreaking havoc. Measles are spreading like pertussis is spreading, measles is spreading. We had 0 measles 20 years ago. Now we have thousands of cases and incompetent people working on it. Oh, and the bird flu has mutated and gotten into everything it was never in before, cattle and chickens and humans, and it's mutating, and there's probably another pandemic coming, but we're going to have even less competence than before, and it won't be leaving office like it was last time with Joe Biden to come in and save us all. No, with some science. Oh, man. So that's going on. If you haven't watched the news, bird flu's coming for us, apparently, maybe. So, white supremacists, right? Skinheads, Klansmen, Nazis have taken over the National Museum for African History, African American History. Yeah, it's mutating. Yeah, and wouldn't it be great if Kamala were president and we had like somebody who was smart, who had kept everyone in place who was smart, and now had smart people working on it instead of fired scientists that aren't working on it? Like, what if we still had scientists with jobs that were working on things? Like, what about the bee crisis? My God, science might come in handy with the bee crisis, and an emphasis and some money poured into it to try to really, I mean, like chips. I mean, I bet there's ways to foster more bees if science was like really, we threw some money at it, which could affect the entire fucking food supply. Right? Like, you want to help farmers? Help the bees that help the farmers. If we only had the science to do it. Oh, but we fired all those people. Oh my God. Seriously, holy shit. It still drives me crazy, the conversation I had with these ladies downstairs, who because I knew I was going to probably trigger them, but I just had to say, I was like, man, if we had Kamala in office, our country be doing so great right now. Oh, things would be so much better. And they're like, oh, I agree to disagree. These two ladies, I'm like, what? Even at this point, and they're both on Social Security, and I just figure it's just a week or two before they get some disruption in their Social Security, and then they realize, oh, maybe they won't. I don't even know. It's amazing. Anyway, what else going on? So yeah, and J.D. Vance is the white supremacist hillbilly liar with manly, very manly mascara and eyeliner. He is in charge of curating uh, the Smithsonian's African American History and African History Museum. Oh my God! And what's insane, right? Is their word usage, right? The reason they need to justify all this Nazi shit, Project 2025. Waste, fraud, and abuse is just Project 2025 in different words, right? We're gonna move in and destroy everything, just like we said we were gonna do in Project 2025, but we're gonna call it waste, fraud, and abuse. Why wouldn't you want waste, fraud, and abuse? So then everyone's on the defensive. Well, I would want. So everyone starts out. Well, of course we would want to. I mean, I'm so sick of hearing the rhetoric about the rhetoric about. Thank you for commenting, everybody. I'm so sick of hearing everyone start out their fucking rhetoric with, well, everyone wants to root out waste, fraud, and abuse, and so I think that premise is a good No, it's all a fucking lie. It's all an obfuscation. It's all just pulling the wool over your misusing words to trick you, like they do with everything. Everything is a lie, and it always comes like pro-life is pro-death, right? Taking away women's reproductive health care murders women and their unborn children. It's pro-death. There's no pro-life to it, right? Everything. The pedophiles, yeah, they're the Republicans, always. The religious pedophiles. Holy shit. Anyway, all right, where was I? I don't even know. We're working through it. Yeah, so improper ideology. That's what, if I know about slavery, it's improper for me. And that's what woke means. Are you aware? Yeah, I'm aware. So I'm woke as fucking hell. Absolutely. This is what a woke person looks like, all right? Stiff shit Republicans. Oh, and then they attack the woke, which is the intelligent people who are informed, that acknowledge and know that the Holocaust happened, that acknowledge and know that slavery was real and really fucked up. Pardon me for swearing. By the way, I've been watching Midas Touch, and from 40,000 feet, and if you look at the general big picture there, that young man, those men, they're so sweet, right? They speak in a gentle tone, and they pretty much almost never swear, and it's very easy to digest. So I should aspire to swear less. I'm going to try to swear less, because if you haven't heard, I have made my announcement. I'll reiterate it here. I have decided to become an influencer. From this point forward, I am officially an influencer. Craig Hampton Bradley. You mean the influencer, Craig Hampton? Yeah, the influencer. Realizing, as I was trying to figure out, jokes to tell to my community college classmates, I realized, oh my God, these young people, all their influences, so much of the influence on social media is horrible, corrupt, just unnecessary. Literally, there's no need, there's no good purpose for any of the right-wing garbage. Like, none of it's real or positive or good. There is no such thing as small government in the right. There are no family values. There's no good for business. Everything is a lie, a joke, and all these horrible people. I guess they're all funded by Russia or China or sick Nazi lovers like Harlan Crow and his friends and Ziklag Group and God knows what, right? And so, the majority of the crap on YouTube and everywhere else is right-wing psychopaths, just spreading propaganda, evil, bullshit, lies. And however flawed I am, and I am very flawed. Oh, I have an IQ above Republican. You know what I mean? Oh, that was another expression I wanted to throw out there. Pete Buttigieg he both has an IQ above Republican, and he has a masculinity level above Republican. Our gay brother. God love Pete Buttigieg. He has a masculinity level above Republican. Yeah, it ain't very hard. Oh, all right. Sorry, where was I? I don't even know. Anyway, yeah, improper ideology. Give me a break, man. Give me a break. The improper ideology are the white supremacists who are trying to ethnically cleanse our country. Thank you for snorting. It makes me so happy. As long as you're not snorting any powders. It's so funny. When I was a kid, there were recreational drugs you could snort. Cocaine didn't kill you. It was, cut with laxative. You might have to go to the bathroom, but you didn't die from fentanyl, right? There was never like shit that killed people. So yeah, what used to be recreational drugs are now Russian roulette drugs. Don't do them. No snorting substances. Only snorting your boogers. When you're laughing so hard and crying at the same time. That's okay. Cheers to that. Oh, there's a little more beer in this big can. 19.2 ounces of 9% triple IPA. Oh. And I recommend on a road trip, once it seems safe to travel again, going to Chico in the summer, having a swim in. They have this giant park with these huge watering holes. I made a video. You could look at a video from there. They're like, swimming pools that are 200 yards long, but they're fed by a stream that comes out of the mountains. I mean, it's just spectacular. They're just constantly flowing, the bear hole. Anyway, Bidwell Park. All right, let's get back to it. Future news. So no one, everything we're seeing is only going to lead to one thing. And that's everyone not complying and trusting anyone and hiding and using Faraday cages and staying hunkered down and staying at a friend's house. And I'm sure there'll be, and even though it's going to seem like it's going to put me at danger, you at danger, people like me and you, if we have a friend, anyone we love and care about who we are worried might be swept up by ice, we're going to say, hey, man, leave your phone, in your car parked a half mile away and come live in my basement or my attic or, let's hide you. The Diary of Anne Frank is playing out all across the country. You know what I mean? How are people not wanting, and with a commitment like, hey, as long as it takes, man, if you got the resources and you got the love for somebody, and you don't want, and when the threat is as bad as it is, being deported to a foreign prison or our own detention centers are so frightening. You could die anywhere along the way. You could die when you're being swept up with, people putting their knees on your back and you having a cardiac arrest or a medical emergency. When the threat is that dire, the only response would be, I'll do whatever it takes to just not die today. Do I have to build a shelter in the mountains? I'm sure people are going to dig holes. I've watched a lot of videos about underground shelters in the mountains that somebody dug, right? And if you're worried about, drones from above, artificial intelligence, being swept up by ice, you might just think, hey, that's a really good idea. Right? Holy shit. I'm not far from thinking that myself. Especially if I'm going to do like the news, I'm putting myself at risk because this is a constitutional right, which are being taken away. But it's therapeutic and hopefully good for both of us. All right, what else going on? Oh man, so I'm just waiting for the conspiracy theorists because I am one of them. Okay, I'm not normally a conspiracy theorist, but Virginia Giuffre, the girl who was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein to people we know. How about not just Prince Andrew, but that gross little Republican lawyer. I can't think of his name. Anyway, one of Jeffrey Epstein's many Republican friends, right? Of course, they accuse everyone else. And how much evidence was at that place? They filled there was a whole tunnel system where they filled with concrete. I'd like to go in there and pick out that concrete and see what evidence you can find in that tunnel at Jeffrey Epstein's house under that big temple thing that was so suspicious. But how many girls, were all like, oh, Alan Dershowitz, that's right, that's the guy. But, when Jeffrey Epstein just died and it was suicide, like, that wasn't believable at all. And now, oh, she commits suicide, right? That's really hard to trust, right? Is that the Mossad? Is that Israeli intelligence taking her out? Is that us? Is that somebody hired by one of these people? I mean, and she was in a car accident right before that, which is also maybe suspicious. I don't know the circumstances of any of it, but I just don't trust it, and I bet a lot of other people don't trust it. I'm sure there'll be people reporting on that in some conspiracy manner, which I could see being plausible, right? I mean, who knows what? No one will ever know the truth. But when shit like this happens, how do you not, throw up an antenna and a red flag and go, how is that trustworthy? This young woman who, she's a mother of three. Mothers of three don't commit suicide, right? You have kids to live for. You have kids that depend on you, and that you just couldn't hurt that bad. So, anyway, yeah, that's crazy. Let's move on. No one ever talks about this, but and perhaps it's safe to presume that it's been 20 years since Trump's been able to, and this is a word I want to use in comedy. It's just a word. I need to have a joke or two that uses this word because it's a great word. But anyway, perhaps it's been like maybe 2 decades since Trump's been able to get a boner. But if he still can, who is he having sex with? Because we know Melania isn't having sex with him. And who of these gross women who, are in the cult who would have sex with their cult leader, like David Koresh or Jim Jones or Charles Manson, right? I mean, I wonder if someday the future news is going to be who he was having sex with. Oh, yeah, he's having sex with Stephen Miller. Oh, yeah, put a wig on him, he's a pretty little lady. Boy, talk about a weak, meek little man who's definitely just, I'm sorry that he was bullied so much, but he doesn't have to take it out on so many people are going to die because of that. Like literally just the USAID withdrawal, that's $3 million a year. That's 12 million. They're going to murder 12 million people in 4 years just with USAID. I mean, that's just one aspect of all the murder. They're taking food away from children in our country, everywhere. Food banks, that's families, that's kids in our country. Oh. And then, of course, it's just full hypocrisy. Oh, we want to pay $5,000 per kid to them for having a baby. And we're gonna, if you have more than 6 kids, even though we're not going to give you any health care, which is going to kill you, if you can have 6 kids without dying with no health care for them, we'll give you the National Medal of Motherhood. All right, what about like you just took away Head Start? You just took away free lunch for kids? You just took away, you don't want to give paid family leave? You're going to take away health care? What if you did those things? That would encourage families to have kids. Oh my God, it's crazy. Anyway, that's, of course, the hypocrisy. It's being reported on by all the women I love so much, the Hysteria ladies and the I've Had It ladies. Yeah, Milwaukee, Wisconsin Judge Dugan. I mean, they just crossed another line. They're just they're testing the boundaries of every law they can break to see how far they can stress test every law, which ones they can get around, which ones they can break or not, which ones the Supreme Court will just give them a pass on, all that shit. It's scary. Of course, as I mentioned, the military coup. is the next scariest thing that could very well be in the process of happening right now as they fire everyone with a fucking clue. And Pete Hegseth, the drunk. Let's drink to Pete Hegseth. If I could just drink a little more, if I could drink like 3 of these, I could qualify to become the defense secretary of the United States. Seriously, I would be a way better defense secretary. Even though he was a soldier at one point, he ain't qualified because he's dangerous mentally and to women. But like just having a rational person that didn't want to there's no way he's on the wagon. See, as we know, if you've ever gone through periods where you drank a lot, it makes it easier to become angry, pissed off. You get pissed off real easy when you're drinking a lot. The 2 times I've just lost my shit and been the angriest person I've ever been was because of alcohol, right? And whiskey, drinking whiskey, coming home whiskey drunk, waking up in the middle of the night, and just pissed. I had this neighbor that was doing speed. He had a drum set and shared a wall next to me. At 3 a.m, he started playing freaking his drums all night on speed. I wake up whiskey, half drunk in the middle of the night, pissed fucking off. Oh God, I was so mad and angry and yelled and threatened. And through the wall, I yelled so much. Anyway, yeah, so, if you don't know alcohol makes you ornery, okay? That's why he gets set off all the time. He's either just had a drink or 2, or he's recovering from a binge the night before, but he is aging quickly. Look how gray his hair is. He's 15 years younger than me or some shit like that, I think. Oh, I'd still like to get in the ring with him, but he's got a lot more gray hair than I do. And that's what a dirty conscience will do. I'm telling you, man, if you want true happiness, it's not being a Republican. You got to have a clean conscience. All right. Okay. That's it. And still, I have yet to see anybody report on Kash Yap Patel as Kash Yap. His name is Kash Yap Patel. Why won't anybody? Are they afraid of him? Maybe I should be. He's locking up judges. Who's next? Oh, and he's just sending these thugs out. Oh, and what drugs is he on with those buggy eyes? That's why I'm gonna ask AI to make a brown-skinned guy with really buggy eyes, right? With a beard and short beard, glasses, short brown hair with buggy eyes in a suit, and that'll be Kash Patel. Oh, maybe make him a devil with horns. Anyway, all right. So where are we at here? Pam Bondi is frightening and scary and super stupid. All right. I'm serious when I say I might someday consider law school. I never would have considered law school, but now that I know how easy it is, because she is the dumbest person that walked the planet. And if she can get through law school, pass the bar, well, I mean, damn near anybody should be able to. So I just might take that on. I mean, provided my faculties keep working, there could be an accumulation of concussions or plastic in here that I don't know about. I could have colon cancer right now that I don't know about. Who knows? But if I live long enough and this thing keeps working, maybe I'll go to law school. You know what I mean? That'd be kind of fun, considering how easy it must be. All right. Oh, I love you, Lauren, so much. Okay, cheers. Let's drink to that. Okay. I'm sure you heard of this already, but if you haven't, George Santos. Or is it Maggie Hageman? Maggie Hageman? Are they the same person? That congresswoman from Wyoming that took Liz Cheney's 87 months. I know, it's so great. Oh, and he cried like a baby. Oh, and he gonna be so popular in prison. That pretty man who loves to dress in drag. No, I shouldn't say that. That's not nice. I hope he's safe in prison and is just normally miserable, but doesn't get attacked physically. No one should wish that on anybody. But nevertheless, um, if you need your nails done in prison, just ask George. Oh my God. And it's so great because he's such a pansy. He's such a posh little boy who needs, handbags, what goes around. Usually, except for so many other Republicans, pretty much anyone that ever supports Donald ends up losing it all or going to jail. And then coming out of jail and getting a job in the Department of Interior. All right. And we keep going. What else going on? Good old George Santos finally gets prison time. I wonder if he'll be popular on I don't think he can do that, right? Will he sneak a phone in so he can make content? So lawsuit phase. I already talked about it. Hegseth's. Oh, so Hegseth, yeah, he's got a. Not only, yeah. If I think I'm flawed, if you think you're flawed, just look at Pete Hegseth. That'll make you feel good about yourself. Holy shit! So this tough guy, war fighter, puts a makeup fucking studio in the Defense Department. Something never seen before. You know who didn't have a makeup lab in his office building? Was that masculine Pete Buttigieg. That's right. Sexiest man in America. Happens to be a gay man. Sexiest man in America. Didn't need a makeup lab, Buttigieg, when he was running his shit. Oh, but this macho man, this warfighter, no one's ever asked JD Vance. I've never seen an interview where someone asked him about his eyeliner, but yes, it begs the question. It begs the question, how does he do it? It is so hard, ladies. I don't know how you do it. How do you do it, ladies? Look at that. How do you stay within the lines? Oh my God, it's so hard. And by the way, this is your eyes are so sensitive. What a shitty place to put shit. Why would? Oh yeah, I got the smoky eye. I'm learning about that from the ladies from I've Had It. The smoky eye. Yes. I'm just trying to be like one of those real men, on Fox News. Real men are Republicans who wear eyeliner. All right, JD Vance, this is a tribute to you, baby. Oh, JD Vance, you're so tough. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, feels so good. I got my JD Vance on. There's no. Oh, good. And I think we have our own bee population in Hawaii, right? So that's good. Maybe we can grow it and export, bring some somewhere where they're dying, and bring a healthy population in there. I don't know. Oh, it's hard to anesthetize yourself enough to this world, but then again, you don't want to do it too much because you gotta stay frosty, gotta stay sharp. You gotta keep your eyeliner on if you want to be, macho Republican man. Okay, I just love deconstructing JD Vance's morning. So there's no way he does his own, right? Because his eyeliner is perfect. It's perfect. And maybe his wife does it, right? Do Indian men wear eyeliner sometimes, more often than not, or than the normal person? And is that a cultural thing that she likes, or did he agree to it with Peter Thiel? Hey, I'll wear eyeliner. Is it a tattoo? I'll wear eyeliner for the rest of my life if you give me this $10 million and make sure that I win every election with your creepy AI. You gotta wonder. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, so Pete Hegseth, speaking of makeup, now that I'm more like him, more like a war fighter. Um, he brought in what a Wi-Fi, his own personal cell phone into the Defense Department, and you're not supposed to ever do that, right? That's just like a total breach of any and every protocol. He put in Wi-Fi so that he could use his personal cell phone in the office there. Right? And so he's just doing all kinds of terrible things, which are all a breach of safety, security protocols, all things that should get and would get anyone else fired, and maybe even had charges pressed against them. He is, God knows where his information is getting out to, who's got it. The Russians, the Chinese, someone else who's paying him. God only knows. White supremacist organizations. He's a freaking anti-nationalist. He calls himself a white nationalist, Christian nationalist. They're anti-nationalists. They're against our country, right? They call themselves white supremacists. They're white inferiorists. They are the most inferior, weakest, little, meekest pieces of crap that ever walked the planet. Intellectually, in every other way. Yeah. And so on. All right, so that's Pete Hegseth. And I mentioned we're locking up and deporting children, U.S. citizens. A 2-year-old U.S. citizen we just deported. Making children defend themselves in court and have hearings by themselves that are 4, 7, 10 years old. Republicans are they've turned into just the sickest, most evil, worst people that anyone could even think of or comprehend. Like, anyway, I'm sleeping great at night, although I'm having a lot of bad dreams about people being locked up and things that are happening in my country, to be honest with you. But I still at least have a clean conscience. Imagine being one of these horrible Republicans that are not only having, well, if they have a conscience, if they have a soul, they're having nightmares about the realities that are happening. And on top of that, that they are guilty for creating them. I mean, that's a guilt level. I mean, I feel terrible as an American citizen knowing that this is happening. But as one that voted for it, or one of the people who are perpetuating it because you're in a position of power and control, yeah, that's just disgusting. And that would ruin my fucking life. If I had that shit on my conscience. It'd be like you're all murderers. I mean, how much murder do you want on your conscience? My God. Anyway, it's never too late to make the vow never to vote for a Republican ever again as long as you live. There is no two sides to the coin. They are racist, bigoted, women-hating traitors. The worst of the worst. And they are murdering people right and left using 100 different mechanisms, levers, pulling this lever, that lever, creating fear. And meanwhile, people are gathering in the streets, and they're all peaceful protests. And the Republicans want them to be not peaceful. So I wonder what will happen. Will there be Republicans that mix in there and try to create disharmony, do violent acts, pretending to be part of these protests just to incite the violence that then will require a crackdown, right? The guns, the whips, the flashbangs, the smoke bombs, the tear gas, the pepper spray that Trump wants to impose on us. And then, of course, national emergency. Can't have elections during national emergency, and there's no emergency. That's the whole thing. Our country could be just humming along like a good marriage, two people just having fun together. But no, one of us has just got to ruin the fucking world. One of us has just got to ruin the world for everyone else. Some people just get off on making sure as many people in the world are as unhappy as possible. The whole thing about economics is, it should be, how do you create the greatest good for the greatest number through economic philosophy and practice, right? Economic theory worked out. How do you create the greatest good for the greatest number? The most happiness for the most people. That could be our goal. It is the basic goal of the study of economics and the history of it and the move towards it. And right now we are in a blip that is just unbelievable. All of a sudden, we have an elected Nazi who's putting down this Nazi freaking bullshit. Unbelievable. Anyway, okay, then there's the Pope's funeral. Sorry, there's so much shitty news. 70 minutes in, I've still got news to tell you. And while I've been telling you this, more shitty news just happened. And I'm going to have to report on that like in 12 more hours. It's a big responsibility. And you better take me seriously with my eyeliner. Like I'm the Vice President of the United States. Do people take him seriously? That's the thing. Even though it'd be super scary to have him and Peter Thiel running the country, Palantir running the country, super scary. That might be the scariest thing out there. But he's so unpopular. Hopefully he would be so feckless and ineffective that if he replaced Trump, you know, if Trump dies tomorrow, which could totally happen, would it be super worse? Oh yeah, and Greenland, like Jeffrey Sachs, if you haven't heard this professor who talked about failing Trump on day one in an econ class, he said he fully expects that we will occupy Greenland militarily in the next 4 years, which is just a frightening, harsh, brutal, crazy reality. And then that will be declaring war on Europe. That'll be temporary, that, you know, it won't stand for long. But, I mean, why? It's like having a spouse that could give you the perfect life. You two are living the perfect life. And then one of them says, I want to take Greenland instead of playing golf today, or going for a hike or a swim, or going out for brunch. Instead of going out for brunch, let's go kill people and and dominate their, like, imagine someone coming over to your house and saying, hey man, that old lady next door, she can't defend her house. Let's just go over there and take her house because we're strong enough too. And then we'll just have more of everything because we stole from her. And the fact that we end up with more stuff makes it something you can rationalize. Anyway, yeah, Panama too, Mexico. We're going to start bombing Mexico. We're going to try to take Panama. We're going to try to take Greenland. We're threatening Canada, which that's stupid. We will lose. There's no way, man. If you think it's hard to take Afghanistan, which it's been proven it's impossible, yeah, try taking Canada. Those Mounties, we don't stand a chance. I put my money on, I bet one Mountie, you know, yeah. Fuck yeah. Oh, and it's just such an insult, and it hurts all of our feelings to know that our government is insulting so many people. Meanwhile, we are bombing Yemen. We are giving the bombs and the weapons to the thugs in Israel. We are threatening to start a whole fucking war with Iran and bomb the shit out of all their shit. We're allowing Putin to beat the shit out of Ukraine while we pretend to be doing whatever, but really, it's just greenlighting the bombing of Ukraine, more genocide, which is stupid. I mean, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense, right? Like, if the world were a little more intelligent, right? Again, like, I am the most flawed person, but luckily my IQ is above Republican, and I'm smart enough to realize that killing people is fucking stupid. Whether you're a thug on the street or a thug in the White House, it's just dumb. It's incongruous with progress, intelligent anything, rational anything that makes any sense on any level, right? This just gross violence is just the most ignorant shit you could ever see. And it just shows what insecure, weak, ignorant fools are, in some cases, running some countries. And it's heartbreaking. All right, I just saw this video, or it was an ad that was playing on my channel, so I just let it play forever because I'm watching my own video, and then it comes with an ad, and I let it play. So I'm gonna make 3 cents. So it was an ad about a titanium cutting board, but it made the point, right, that plastic cutting boards shave off pieces of plastic, get in your food, right? And then I was lamenting, holy shit. So I've worked in 30 different restaurants over a 35-year period. And, oh, thank you. Over a 35-year period, right? And I've seen nothing but plastic cutting boards in every restaurant I've ever worked. I mean, yeah. Anyway, and then they said some shit that didn't make sense to me, like, oh, and then if you're cutting on a wood cutting board, then you just get splinters. Yeah, but splinters will dissolve in your stomach, and they're organic. Yeah, they're different. Like, they're not going to accumulate in your brain, but yeah. So all the people that eat out all the time, the people that have all the privilege, are just consuming a shit ton of restaurant cutting board plastic. Not that there's anything wrong with eating out and enjoying the good life. I've been serving you people, and I love doing that. But I just come to figure that out. I mean, in like a real, like I never really realized it, but so much plastic has been served. Not to mention all the Teflon pans I've seen in restaurants, right? That were Teflon pans, and now they're just smooth aluminum because all the Teflon has been put into your food, right? Because, yeah. So I've seen that in a lot of restaurants. And then what else? The Pope's funeral. Trump, the dipshit, the only person with no fucking values or ethics or morals or sense of common sense. He's the only guy in the whole crowd of thousands in a blue suit. Everyone else is smart enough to show up in a black suit for the Pope's funeral. Holy shit. And like he's not rich enough? He doesn't have access? He doesn't have someone who has a black suit? I bet he could order up a black suit pretty quick. Nope, no, not that dipshit. Even Melania was in a black fucking outfit. But not Trump, because he's an idiot. He's a moron. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, and his gold tie. Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, geez. Yeah, what an embarrassment. Our country's an embarrassment. Republicans are an embarrassment. We need to vote them out. We need to never vote for Republicans. We need a whole nother second party that's a party of peace and all the other shit. It cares about people, the environment, and it's peace. And then the Democrats stay the way they are. They can be the pro-war, they'll be the pro-peace, and that'll be the big difference. Take the pledge. I'll never vote for a Republican ever again. And, yeah, and if you were one, just apologize to everyone you know. Say, I'm sorry. I just woke up out of the nightmare that was that cult that I was in. Not in that cult anymore. Oh, man. All right. Oh, and then, of course, Trump keeps just lying. He lies about everything all the time, and there's too many to count. But one of my favorites is how he's, oh, yeah, everyone wants to talk to me now because of all these tariffs. Everyone is talking to me. Oh, yeah, I'm so popular. Everyone wants to talk to me. Everyone wants to renegotiate with me, including Xi Jinping from China. No. Meanwhile, Xi Jinping's like, fuck that guy. Xi Jinping has publicly said, I'm not taking his calls. He's not taking his calls, and Trump lies every day about how Xi Jinping is taking his call, and he wants to talk to him, and he's trying to make a new deal, and nope, Xi Jinping says, fuck you, dude, I don't trust you. No one trusts you. Why would you take your call? Why would I waste my time talking to someone I don't trust, right? No, it's not a Sharpie. It's not. This is the real thing. Look, LA Colors, stamp and line. 2-in-1 liquid liner. This is eyeliner. Yeah, and it washes off pretty easy. That's why I have confidence doing this. Not to mention, it's funny to leave the house like this. If you like being funny, which I like to do, all I gotta do is walk out of the house like this, and I'm a walking joke. And if no one else laughs, at least I will. Oh, on that note, if you haven't heard my whole joke, I have another I realized my whole joke could be used other ways. And For instance, there's in the news, if you haven't seen it, there's this little dust up in the Democratic Party. They got this young guy, David Hogg. David Hogg is a Parkland shooting survivor who organized an organization to fight against that. And that helped him become the DNC vice chair. Interesting. Only because, I mean, he's still a young man with very little real experience in the real world other than being shot at in school. Nevertheless, cool. So he's like, no, we want to start primarying Democrats who don't do enough. And so he's attacking the old Democrats because, he's a young guy who thinks he knows everything, which is fine, but always wrong. And so on. So James Carville, the old man that helped with Clinton's campaign, has been hanging around the Democratic as a strategist for 30, 40 years. They're in a spat, right? And so on. Okay, so that's David Hogg. And Marjorie Taylor Greene famously insulted him like a evil witch that she is. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I saw the pictures of the perp walk. Her with her hands behind her back. Like you need to put her in handcuffs. She's some sort of threat to anybody, right? Yeah, Cash App. What a dipshit. Oh, now I'm losing my place. Let me have a sip of beer and see if I can find it again. Oh my God. It is brutal. Look, how many people are watching? 9 people. That's a huge crowd for me. Huge crowd. I am now an influencer. So, hope you're feeling influenced. I forget where I was. What the hell was I talking about? Anyway. I was working towards a point. I just lost it completely. You know what? When that happens, you can rest assured you are smoking some good weed, right? If you ever lose your place, that just means that's some good weed you're smoking. So good for you. And cheers to you. Oh my God, so many things, that aren't cool that are happening. Oh, I remember now. Sorry, it's a terrible joke. It's a terrible joke. So prepare yourself. It's a bad joke. It's not a good one. But in the tradition of this new tradition that I found, because I could do a whole, I could probably write 10 of these jokes. They'll come to me eventually. But like the whole joke, I walked by those guys working in a hole, and I wanted to make them laugh. Because there's nothing more fun than making somebody laugh that's, in the middle of a hard day's work. And I turned to them and said, I bet you guys know a lot of hole jokes. And that joke went over great with the students at the community college. I performed to 5 people. And one of them laughed pretty hard at that. She wasn't laughing at the other stuff, so that was cool. But, of course, David Hogg, I bet he knows a lot of hog jokes. Like if I ever get to interview him, I'll say, hey, bro, do you know a lot of hog jokes or what? I bet you do. Oh, and will somebody ask J.D. Vance about his eyeliner? Will somebody ask Charlemagne the God what the fuck's up with his name? Why would you name yourself? Did his parents name him Charlemagne the God? I've never seen anybody ask him that. If I ever get to interview any of these people, I'm going to ask them the question everyone wants to know. Where'd you get that name, Charlemagne the God? Why are you wearing eyeliner, J.D. Vance? That weird shit that's right on the surface. Why doesn't anybody ask you about that? Just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm just asking questions. Just asking questions, All right, I think that's all the incredible news. Oh my God, so much. We had George Santos, That's kind of good news. I mean, you know, in the world of a shitty Republican bunch of criminals that commit fraud and that lie all the time and that take advantage of everybody, that guy got elected. Holy shit, if that doesn't tell you, you can do it too. Seriously, we need a million people, because the first million people to sign up to want to get into politics are going to be far more, every one of them will be more capable than everyone that's currently elected in the Republican Party. Every judge, every state senator and representative, every federal representative and state senator. It's just the saddest bunch of deplorable, disgusting, derelict douchebags on the planet possible. Which is why I need to be an influencer. Oh, will it? So will the future news be that George Santos comes out of prison with tattoos all over? And with all his tattoos, he gets swept up and then sent off to El Salvador because they think he's in a gang? Who knows? Who knows? Let's just hope that we start to see law and order soon. This crime and the disorder, the evil, the people that call themselves Christians that worship the devil, it is the weirdest shit ever. How is this not just fucking weird? And all these Republicans are so weird. Anyway, I'm getting closer to my eye edge. I don't know how I get right up against. I mean, it's so sensitive. I mean, the only place in your body that's probably more sensitive than this right here, maybe your genitals, right? I'm just saying, like, where maybe your ear hole, I don't know. I mean, is there any place more sensitive than your eyes? Ladies, I recommend you leave your eyes alone. And you men, come on. I mean, come on. Every time I see a Republican man, sometimes Democrats because they're on TV, which does not speak well. If you're a Democrat, don't wear makeup. Be a real man. Like Pete Buttigieg, he won't wearing any makeup. Oh, yeah. Christianity used to seem like it was full of good people that made me want to be around them. Really, like I grew up, I know that one prayer, you know, our Father who art in heaven. I grew up saying that at night before I went to bed. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this day bread. Give us our trespasses, forgive us. And forgive us those who we trespass against. That seems really easy to relate to, right? And imagining God living in a world where people are honest and true and don't lie and don't hurt and steal and rape and murder, live in heaven on earth, right? Oh, thank you, Lauren. That's important. Your opinion matters, okay? Yeah, I mean, what if Christianity seemed like it had any of those qualities? Or any other religion? Holy shit. Why are religions all so famous? For rape, imprisonment, torture, murder, all sorts of shit. Always against children. All the history of all the boarding schools, Native Americans and our country in Canada and England, and all the kids, the orphans, and Catholic. Oh God, for 1,000 years, the Catholic Church. I mean, I joke about it, not to be mean to those who are the good people in the Catholic Church, but holy shit. Like how many proven hundreds of thousands, millions of cases of children being affected by their freaking priests. That's the only thing I agree with Margaret Taylor Greene about is her contempt for the Catholic Church. But I mean, it's the same as all the religious organizations, especially the Orthodox. The more extreme a religion becomes, the more children get abused, it seems. Anyway, yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if there was like a religion that was all about doing no harm? A religion that was like about doing no crime, about not being bribe takers and, anyway, yeah. All right. Oh, man. Reading my blue steel with eyeliner. All right. I love you all so much. Be wonderful people. You know, do no harm, do no crime. Spread the love. You know, like if there is a God, that's what He wants you to do. We'll find out when we die, I suppose. So one thing I'll never presume to tell you is that I know the nature or existence of God and what He's thinking or saying, how He thinks anything. I do like the idea that, you know, thank you so much. I need to shampoo and condition, you know. Boy, is it exciting when you condition. Oh, it's a good time. It's a good time. Oh, it's a good time. Hanging out with y'all in a world of despair and god awful news. Holy shit. Oh man, so I made this blonde woman at a podium with big hands, evil, with a little Tim Pool and a little, oh my god, 11 people watching. That's so many for my channel. Oh my god. Oh, I should wear nicer clothes next time. It's, but yeah, a little tiny Tim Pool-like character, a little tiny Stephen Miller, right? Little evil bastards. One with a little black beanie, the other in a blue suit, and then just this scary person. So okay, yeah, don't worry, I won't wear a blue suit. I don't really have any clothes. That's why you see the same shirts over and over. You know, lost everything in the fire. I have like 12 shirts. So, and some of them are in more of a rotation than others. This one doesn't actually fit. It only fits from here up. That's why I'm wearing it now, because I can't wear it out in public. It shows far too much definition on my belly and my breastises. But I've been swimming, so my breastises are perking up because you know, the muscles are lifting it up, and I'm hoping to show up to canoe practice this week. That's a big secret. I was supposed to do it this morning, but I decided to wimp out, and but I'm going to train today for practice on Tuesday, and I'm going to show up at the club that I paddled at when I first moved here in 1998. I paddled the channel at the end of that year, and I was, anyway. That's a novice B. If you move to Hawaii and you become a canoe paddler, okay, your first year you're a novice B paddler, okay, which means you only paddle against other first year paddlers, and your race, if you're a woman, it's a 2-minute race. If you're a man, it's a 4-minute race. It's not intimidating. It's quick. It's down and back. And so, and clubs they always need a new group of novice B, first year paddlers. So they're always recruiting. They want to get a boat in the water that can be competitive. So if you don't know this, all the clubs want you. They want you to show up and become a paddler and become part of their novice B crew, men and women, and there's a novice B mixed crew. So, and also I will be talking more about Wall Street as you know, not only might you be somebody who is going to get a settlement from this a global fund, this $4 billion settlement. I might get some money. I have no idea how much. I just went to a meeting. We'll talk about that in the future. But, or if you just, you know, if you receive a settlement, something from your parents, you know, generational wealth, whatever, and you want to learn how to invest it safely, intelligently, I have already and will continue to give you a simple blueprint on how to do that, and encourage you to be empowered to cook your own food and cook your own investments. Anyone and everyone can get their own money in the stock market, manage it themselves, and there's a simple, safe kind of method and plan that I've developed by observing it for 40 years that I can share with you, that is the most conservative, safest, most intelligent, easy way in, and that's what I've been talking about, right? So stay tuned for that, because I won't steer you around, and I'm free. I'm not going to charge you nothing. I'm going to try to sell you nothing. I'm not some idiot guru that's going to give you shitty advice. Anyway, So that's going to be something we're going to keep talking about. I was thinking, what if I just drilled a hole in this right here, right? And then put it on a necklace and wore the Constitution hanging upside down. That would be a great jewelry piece, wouldn't it? Oh my God. People, what a great way to protest, just walking around with your Constitution upside down. I'm just saying, just asking questions. Just asking questions with, the other one's over there. With one googly eye. I got one googly eye, I'm watching you. With one googly eye, so there's that. Ooh, look, I'm almost on my last 2 ounces of 19.2 ounces of Atomic Torpedo IPA, Imperial IPA. So many words. Oh, see this? This is a silicone cup. This is one of the few possessions that was in my car after the fire that I'm connected to from my past. All right. Oh my goodness, I gotta go potty. You know what I mean? Drinking coffee, very black, like a Republican soul, and some strong coffee, like a good woman. I mean, strong beer, excuse me. Like a good woman. Nothing like a smart, strong woman, with a sense of humor. Okay, everything a Republican man is afraid of. Tell you what. All right, let's see. Yeah, and I had all these jokes I thought would work for kids, but then there were only like 6 people in the crowd. And when there's 6 people, you're like, oh, I don't think I'm not going to get enough consensus. I'm not going to be able to trigger. Let's see. Yeah, anyway. But I had jokes I thought would work well if there had actually been more than. And that's if you see it, there were 5 people there. Free pizza, community college, free pizza, baby. And I still have some free pizza in the fridge, and free chocolate chip cookies. I took 2 boxes of chocolate chip cookies. Oh, if you've never done this, just break up chocolate chip cookies in a bowl and pour milk over that. And eat it like cereal. That's the best cereal I ever had. Why buy cereal that is little chocolate chip cookies when you can take real chocolate chip cookies and break them up in a bowl and put milk on it and make cereal out of it? I'm just saying, if you haven't experienced that good time, there's a recommendation. Chocolate chip cereal. Oh, and I was thinking, I could, because every time I cook, it's like I could make a video out of. It's always something different. I might, if I really want to become a whore, to live streaming, I might live stream everything I cook. That would be, or for some period of time, maybe a day or 2, a week, a month. I don't know. That would be interesting. I started taking pictures of chickens. That's exciting. Okay, if you don't know this, in Hawaii, we have the most beautiful chickens. The most beautiful chickens. Oh my God. So, if you don't know this, the fighting chickens, the chickens that kick each other's asses in brawls. We got a lot of fighting chickens. We got a long history of chicken fighting in Hawaii, and it's cultural. And yes, chickens die, but we all eat chicken every day that are treated way worse and live shorter lives, way more miserable lives, way more miserable deaths. So it's hard to take an animal lover's perspective against chicken fighting when we've objectified chickens pretty much. I got some Costco chicken in my freezer that was treated way worse. A chicken that fights lives 18 months, and then if they win, they're put out to pasture for the sake of having sex with other chickens for the rest of their lives. Anyway, now that's all neither here nor there, and regardless of your feelings about chicken fighting, these fighting chickens are by far the most beautiful chickens. They are so fucking beautiful. White, brown, orange, red, freaking turquoise feathers. I mean, colors in their feathers. And if you didn't know it, they're a direct descendant of T-Rexes. Tyrannosaurus rexes. What's related to a T-Rex? These chickens. So they just want to fight all the time. It's in their nature. They fight to the death for the fun of it. It's just who they are, man, these roosters. But they're also just so beautiful. So I've decided to start photographing our beautiful roosters. And I found one. I shot my first rooster yesterday, and I'm going to collect rooster photos and then make a montage of beautiful roosters of Maui that are just freaking everywhere. And I fucking love them. So I've been to a couple chicken fights, and you kind of got to know people to be invited to and brought to a chicken fight. And man, it's just like you feel like you're going back 2,000 years. It's just ladders, right, guys, on ladders and chairs around a little ring, a master of the ring who takes the best from the owners. Everyone in little on their chair or on their ladder, looking down on the square. You just make bets with the guy next to you, right? You're just like, hey, how much? You want the white one? I'll take the red one. Okay, $20. Okay, like that's how the betting happens. It's not complicated. And then one wins and one loses, and you pay the guy off next to you, and it's because it's to the death. It's kind of stimulating in a way, right? Just like I'm sure psychos who love to see humans hurt each other or bigger animals, it stimulates them. There's something barbarically stimulating about two chickens to the death. But in the context of how we treat chickens, it's not the worst thing you could ever comprehend, right? And so, yes, it's brutal and it's gnarly, and yeah, they put razor blades. And the guy that ties it on with dental floss, he's a talented guy who knows how to tie those on just right. There's all this, but it's culture is what it is. It's been going on for 2,000-3,000 years. So, as much as you might object to it, it's hard not to just observe it from a culture perspective and be like, wow, this is cultural, man. I mean, I'm immersed in some culture I ain't never seen before. I'm a white boy from the fucking suburbs. I ain't never been in a fucking chicken fight before. And that is an experience that, I'm glad I had. And I would never judge a chicken fighter the way I would judge somebody, say, that fights dogs, or that, humans in a UFC, I'll never watch another Dana White fight as long as I live, but humans in those that is gnarlier to watch two humans nearly killing each other. That hurts more than it hurts to see two chickens kill each other. In the lieu of, and, normally roosters are just killed when they're babies anyway, because no one has any use for them, right? So a bird that would have been murdered when it was like born is allowed to live till it's a year and a half, have a chance to fight to the death. If it wins, it gets to have sex the rest of its life. Like, I'd much rather be one of those guys with that long length of a life, versus the one you're eating that lived 3 months in a cage, pumped full of steroids or whatever, and food, and then hung upside down and had his neck, his throat slit. Like, anyway, it's a complicated issue, and that's the one part where, like, Humane Society, I object to their interference. And they made it a felony here like 20 years ago, and it changed everything, and guys moved their farms to the Philippines. We had this one farm here, a famous local family, the Cascos. They won the World Series of chicken fighting in the Philippines. A local West Side, Lahaina Side chickens won the World Series. Anyway, and that was right about the time it was becoming a felony here. It used to be a misdemeanor. And then when it became a felony, what happens is, like, federal agents come in, like, they arrest one guy, like the token arrest, and then they leave. And then the chicken fighting keeps going all day, and it doesn't stop. And a lot of the cops are chicken fighters, and so there's a lot of layers to it. And judges are sympathetic, and so on. Anyway, interesting we went on this tangent. But the point is, I'm taking pictures of these beautiful chickens. They're so beautiful. Anyway, all right, I'm talking so much, so long. I'm losing my audio. 10 thumbs up, that's a lot. All right, now I'm going to put it on the ocean in case you took a bunch of mushrooms or LSD and you haven't left your house. It'll be a beautiful sight out there. Or if you're just traumatized from your family or the news or your past. Oh, life is good, huh? Cheers to y'all. Good day to be alive. I'm down to black coffee. I drank all my beer. All right. Love you guys so much. Yeah. And until tomorrow or the next day, as soon as I get a full page of terrible news, you know, what is it? The terrible, no good, the very bad, terrible, the no good, very bad, terrible news, like that book, or the god awful news. Thank you. Love you guys so much. And yeah, I hope to get out and do more. I made a video of me doing some community service. It was both for a class. It was that place I made a video, the wildlife sanctuary I made a video of, but I went there to clean the place up, and I might, oh, I love you so much. I'm gonna, that's so sweet. I'm gonna go back there and clean it up some more, but I was thinking I might start doing community service, because if you didn't know it, I am now officially an influencer. So I was thinking, in context of being a famous influencer, I'm gonna go do community service and film it. So I was cleaning up this place, and I made a video of that, and I'll go back but I might start posting that. I might post that video and more of it like it, because, you know, now that I'm an influencer, I need to do positive things and influence people to do positive things also, like go places where they just fired everybody and try to fill the hole a little bit. I don't know what people used to do that worked for the wildlife sanctuary, but I'll take care of keeping the viewing area clean. That can be my little job. And it makes me happy to do nice things, as it should anybody. All right. God, I gotta stop talking. Talk so much. Have a happy Saturday. Go drink one beer and get a good buzz from one, maybe two. Smoke a little weed. If you're thinking about doing harm or crime, become a super lazy bastard. Eat so much food, you sleep the rest of the day, or drink and just pass out. Just do nothing if you're inclined to do harm. If you're not inclined to do harm, you know, do everything else. If you're inclined to do something positive, do everything you might do if it's in that context. All right. See, this is the part where it's hubris. At this point, it's just me wanting to hear myself talk, and it's total ego and hubris, and I need to shut myself up. But I appreciate you, and thanks for watching and all the attention. And the 12 people that are devoted, loyal followers, I love you so much. I got my devoted 12. Anyway, we're growing a channel here. This is blue collar YouTube from the ground up. One very important person at a time, one very real person at a time. No bots on this channel. And if you're a Republican, I have definitely insulted you enough to drive you away. So there are probably no domestic terrorists on my channel, thank God. We don't really need them. I don't want them. I'd rather be less popular and have less domestic terrorists in this community. All right, love you guys. Okay, aloha. I gotta shut up now. Oh my God.